Dear members, it is my honor to greet you as the chairman of the NALED. My name is Dragan Penezic, and we would like to welcome you to today's virtual event marking the end of our today's session. Honestly, I hope that you're all well and healthy, and that this crisis, the current crisis, will not impact the achievement of our personal and professional results. I want to briefly point out today to what we are going to do. We will present the results of the voting and the key material accepted. We will present our reform priorities of our membership, and we will present the message of our Prime Minister, Ana Brnabić, and our key international partners. Finally, we will hand over our traditional reward, NALED's Arrow, that has been awarded annually. We are proud that you've been able to participate in this annual session that lasted from 27th to 31st of July, and that you've been as serious as you would have been had we met directly. Thank you for being active and for voting for our strategic priorities and other items on our agenda. Let's move on to present some numbers. The digital session was attended by 158 members, out of which 151 voting member, which accounts for more than a half of full members, more precisely 42%. With this, we have fulfilled the conditions required for decision-making at the Assembly, as our statute requires at least 1/3 of full members being present. The vote 124 members, or 43 full members, took part in the voting, which means that the Assembly has reached all these decisions while having a quorum. All items on the agenda have been accepted almost unanimously, which is the sign of a good planning and a continuous communication between NALED and its members. Given that I've been re-elected as the chairman of the NALED Assembly, I would like to thank you for your confidence on my own behalf and on behalf of the British American Tobacco, the company I represent. Now, I would like to briefly point out to some key accepted items on the agenda. First of all, amendments and addenda to rules of the procedure, because we had to closely regulate holding electronic sessions for the future period, while hoping that we will meet directly again and that we will be able to again exchange our experiences directly again. When it comes to the financial report, we can conclude that the previous 2019 was another successful year for our association. An independent audit company, BDO, has provided an unqualified opinion about our financial reports. In 2019, we have achieved or generated revenues that amount to 320 million dinars, with net surplus of revenues over expenditures to the amount of 270,000 dinars. We have adopted the report on our achievements and goals and the implementation of our strategic plans, and the reports show that we were able to achieve our goals up to 92%, which means that of 100% of our planned activities, we have implemented fully or partially 171 activity, and many of them have been implemented even before their due time limit. NALED, in the previous year, have organized its activities with 310 members, and more than 50 of them continuously engaged in our executive office. Our family has been enriched with new members, distinguished colleges and companies, and also one new alliance for the protection of environment. Almost 1/2 of our membership, 43%, is contributing to our work by participating in our bodies, while participating in 57 groups, government groups, drafting laws and regulations. This would all be impossible without the support of the international community, with which we are implementing 30 projects, currently 30 projects. At this point, on behalf of all our members, we would like to thank our partners, GIZ, USAID, the EBRD, the EU, the UNDP, the GGF, the British Fund, GGF, the embassies of Norway and the Netherlands, and the World Bank. Some of them have prepared the messages of support for NALED and the reforms that have been implemented together with NALED. And I would like to ask you to listen to them.
Is visionary, energizing, and necessary.
Dedicated and transformative. Dynamic.
Partner. I partnerstvo bi bila prva riječ kako bi ja opisala NALED.
A leading business organization.
NALED is building bridges of understanding and cooperation. NALED's dedication to driving reforms have made Serbia a better and more predictable place to do business.
NALED had been a strong partner to the government on the doing business reforms that has enabled Serbia to climb several ranks in the doing business ranking.
Zajedno smo uradili mnogo, smanjili birokraciju, pomogli digitalizaciju, razvili elektronske servise I poslali smo pečat u istoriju.
Što je NALED za Evropsku banku za obnovu I razvoj? Partnerstvo I koalicija za boljitak, poboljšavanje poslovnih uslova. I treće, što je jako bitno u Srbiji, implementacija. Što se dogovori, to se implementira energično.
NALED and the European Union has always been advocate for important reform, for example, in the business environment and public administration.
The reforms that have come through the dialogue NALED facilitated have been crucial to bringing more businesses out of the gray economy.
Posebno sam ponosna na naš nedavni rad sa katastrom I elektronskom registracijom nekretnina.
Puno smo postigli, prije svega na području reforme inspekcija I ima puno, toliko ima da moram pogledati svoj papir.
And has helped all of us to imagine a better way of getting to a digital economy and digitizing public services.
We helped facilitate improvements in construction permitting and impressive array of parafiscal, labor inspection and presumptive taxation system reforms.
EU and NALED has delivered important support package for Serbian companies, particularly small and medium enterprises.
Hoćemo da budete naši partneri u dva aspekta oporavka ekonomskog posle COVID-a.
Posebno su nam u fokusu žene, manjinske I osjetljive grupe, koje će ova kriza najviše da pogodi.
And I trust that NALED will continue to advocate for Serbia's economic and social growth, for Serbian progress into its accession with the European Union.
Da hajmo biti partneri što bismo mogli još I dalje digitalizovati.
As we go forward, NALED will be important in supporting the government and Serbia in general to improve on governance and the rule of law.
Mi želimo da podržimo nova rešenja I otvorimo nove mogućnosti za radnike koji rade pola radnog vremena ili povremeno.
NALED is well placed to gather views and to create a consensus around major reforms.
Serbia needs to improve its economic outlook, and the new government in Serbia has an unprecedented responsibility to make this happen.
As the United States government shares the same aspirations for Serbia that NALED holds, we have been proud to partner with NALED over these last 14 years to support key reforms.
Hvala još jednom NALED. Bićemo partneri I dalje.
I would once again like to thank our partners and our friends from the international community. The list of concrete, specific results is long, the results of the projects implemented and the membership initiatives, and I will mention only a few of them. First of all, 500,000 citizens who annually either purchase or sell their properties don't have to visit the counters to file tax returns. About 100,000 flat taxpayers as of this year can download their tax assessments in January. An electronic system for reporting seasonal workers in agriculture has been introduced. So since 2019, about 37,000 of them have been hired or engaged, and on account of them, 3.3 million euros in taxes and contributions have been generated into the budget. The first Grey Health Book has been published with 40 recommendations for improving the availability and efficiency of healthcare. The results were achieved in the field of inspection oversight. The municipal services have been improved, and also the development of cashless payment has been supported. We have supported the startups through the government's startup program, and we've seen that 780 companies were established and relieved of paying taxes in the first year of operation. If you allow me, I would like to add that NALED, in response to COVID-19, was the first association to send its proposal of measures to preserve jobs and support the economy to the government. Of our measures, 4 ones were accepted. Dozens of recommendations were made for agriculture, construction, transport, and health. During the state of emergency, with the support of our membership companies and donors, we have provided food, IT, medical, and protective equipment worth 250,000 euros for 41 municipalities and cities. However, we must not relax and sit back, because our reform agenda has increasingly demanding and difficult tasks, which lead us to the last item on the agenda, meaning the revising the strategic plan and goals for 2020 and 2021, and the key reforms that we are proposing to the new government. The top 3 priorities chosen by NALED members are improvement of e-government and e-business. This priority has been voted as the most important one by 77% of our members. Then the suppression of the shadow economy and improvement of the tax system, which is an important priority for as many as 76% of our members. And number 3, development of the healthcare sector. 65% of our members have voted for this priority. We would like to suggest the government to try to establish different electronic systems like e-space for the adoption of spatial and urban plans. For instance, e-ag to enable electronic registration of agricultural holdings and subsidies, e-register of non-tax levies, e-health to help us improve the integrated healthcare information system. We also would like to propose the expanding the system of online registration of seasonal workers to include other activities and enable other flexible forms of employment, and to support small and medium enterprises to transform themselves and to introduce cashless and online payments, which have become necessary in the current circumstances. Our members expect further support from the new government and help them repair the economic consequences, and to provide the support to catering, tourism, transport, and other areas. Then it is expected from the government to help local government units, to help businesses and citizens pay their taxes, and also elimination of VAT or value-added tax on donations. A precondition for the success of all these reforms in the coming period is a broad public dialogue, and public and private dialogue of all stakeholders that needs to be established in order to find applicable and effective solutions in the interest of citizens. And Ana Brnabić, our Prime Minister, is the person who understands this best, as these results have been achieved during her term of office, and it is my honor and pleasure to announce her address. Dear members of the National Alliance for Local Economic Development, NALED, dear colleagues and friends from the Executive Office of NALED, on this occasion, I would like to congratulate you for another successful annual assembly that you are holding, and to thank you at the end of my term of office, at the end of the term of office of the government that I have been leading, for everything that we've been done together in the last 4 years. We have initiated many reforms, many difficult reforms. Many of them are still ongoing, and it will take time for them to be completed, as it usually is with serious reforms. But thank you for everything that we have done together to promote Serbia, to improve doing business in Serbia, to improve Serbia's ranking at the World Bank's doing business list, to introduce e-government in Serbia, which means that together we have helped citizens of Serbia, but also the businesses, to manage through the maze, to find their way through the maze of the administrative maze, and for our government to become a true service of the citizens and businesses, rather than to make and to ask citizens to run around as couriers. Thank you for helping us reinforce the position of the youth in Serbia. Thank you for helping them to start their business through Start Legally project. Thank you for everything you've done in the reform of the cadastre, which has been long awaited for. Thank you for helping us improve the registration of properties. Thank you for the reform of the registration of seasonal workers and introducing e-services in that area as well, and for many, many other services that and reforms that we've that we completed in the last 4 years. Honestly, many results achieved by the government and successes would not be possible without NALED, without having NALED by our side, and thank you once again for that. I'm glad that as a responsible or accountable government, together with our partners in NALED, that we've laid the path, the roadmap for the next government. We have adopted the action plan for further implementation of e-government. We are still working on the implementation of the action plan for countering the shadow economy, which is something that we've invested a lot of efforts in. Once again, thank you very much. I wish you all the luck. And I've been told that I should describe NALED in 3 words. And for me, NALED is a reliable, sure, and if I may say, long-lasting partner. I would like to thank the Prime Minister for her support and such kind words, and I'm sure that we will continue our support and our cooperation in the future. And we have come to the last and the most solemn part of our event and the closing of our assembly, and I would like to extend my thanks to all of you for your attention, and I would like to turn the floor over to Violeta Jovanovic, our Executive Director, to present this year's laureates of the NALED's Arrow. I would like to congratulate everyone for the results achieved, and I'm sure that we will have an opportunity to meet directly very soon. Violeta, the floor is yours. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, distinguished members and partners. We are particularly satisfied to be able to meet again at the very end of our annual session. The data and the facts presented by the chairman clearly state that our annual assembly, in such circumstances, extraordinary circumstances, has also been successful, that we've confirmed continuous cooperation with our members, and that we have proved that we were able to prove to be this firm and determined community determined to overcome all the challenges, along with our members, our partners coming from the government and the international community, also played an important role in helping us achieve our results. And that's why we want to thank them for their confidence and the support they've presented in these video messages. We would like to thank Prime Minister Brnabić for her cooperation and her excellent motivational speech, as well as our partners and donors from the international community, whose select representatives will be rewarded today by NALED with NALED Zero, which is our recognition and our award that is awarded to the members of the international community for the contribution to building a better environment in Serbia. And we will move on to the ceremonial part of today's event, and I would like to invite to join us on stage, to join us the member of our supervisory board, and Alexander Milikic. We want to present him the award. Our first laureate is a strong leader with a clear vision of development of our region, with the help of whom we have established the support unit for the Coordination Commission for Inspection Oversight. And she also helped us to establish a call center, so the citizens can now make one call and report a problem or misconduct to any of the 40 Republic inspectorates. With her help and experience in this reform and other reforms, we are able to replicate the successes of this reform in the neighboring countries and reinforce our network that she's been supporting very strongly. And we believe that she's watching us right now, that she's that has a smile on her face. She is the EBRD Director for Western Balkans, Zsuzsana Hargitai. We would like to congratulate her for this well-deserved award. She's now absent, and she was not able to join us today. That's why we would like to ask the mayor of Bor to keep her reward until they meet again at some point while working on a project for Bor. We would move on to our next laureate, which has helped us be well-balanced in terms of gender mainstreaming, and with the support of this laureate, Serbia has become one of the 50 best-ranking countries in the World Bank's Doing Business list. We have introduced e-government together. We eliminated seals together. We reformed the cadastre together. We have introduced e-cadastre counter, and we connected this with the local tax administration. He is a diplomat always, but he is extremely convincing. He is the chief of the GGF fund. He is Matthew Jordan. I would like to ask for a round of applause for him.
Thank you very much. This award really means a lot to me. It's a really prestigious award, and I feel that I would be doing myself a disservice just by accepting it without mentioning a couple of colleagues from the British Embassy who I work closely with, in Nicola, Natasha and Jelena. Thank you for your support. Now, I first arrived in Serbia back in late April 2016, and I oversee a fund called the UK's Good Governance Fund. It's a technical assistance fund. It aims to promote and support economic and governance reform here in Serbia. So far, the fund has spent over 20 million euros in Serbia on over 60 different interventions. Of all of these interventions, I'm most proud of the work and cooperation with NALED. And in particular, I'd like to reference the work on property registration. This has been a really challenging reform, and I'm really proud that we've been able to succeed in this area. NALED has been able to succeed because they share many of the same values that I do, namely hard work, perseverance, determination, and so I'm delighted that the British Embassy will continue to work with NALED in the future as we move forward. Thank you very much.
Zahvaljujemo se.
Thank you, Mr. Matthew Jordan, and also I would like to thank the colleagues who have helped us. I would like to invite the chair of the managing board of the steering committee and ASECO company director to join me on stage for the next laureate, because our next laureate has been investing efforts for decades now to improve municipal services together with NALED, and she's been supporting our business-friendly program. And she is a visionary representative of the GIZ, who's helping us build a business-friendly network. And she helped us build a strong private-public dialogue, and she has laid down the roadmap for the electronic systems, for permitting, and for registration of seasonal workers. And this has all been directly supported by the GIZ. She is a symbol of our continuous partnership with GIZ and a symbol of enthusiasm that no challenges can bring down. Our arrow is deservingly handed over to our colleague, national coordinator of the Open Regional Fund for the Improvement of Municipal Services, Zorica Bilic. Zorica, congratulations. Thank you for such a wonderful recognition and for such kind words. It is an incredible luck, and it is an incredible feeling when you have an opportunity to do the right things with right people in life and in your professional career. I was lucky enough because for a decade now I've been working with for as much as I was working with NALED, there was not a single moment in our cooperation where I didn't have this feeling that I just mentioned. And in that sense, I look at this award as an award to an incredible energy shared by these two teams, the team of the executive office of the NALED's executive office and the team of our fund improving municipal services. The list of our achievements is a lengthy one, beginning with the improvement of doing business circumstances through certification of business-friendly municipalities, improving permitting procedures, simplifying hiring and registration of seasonal workers, introducing electronic services at the local level, improving the land management, improving the environmental protection, and those are the right things for us to be busy with. And together we are able to make a difference. And I would like to extend my thanks individually to every member of the executive office and every member of the team of the regional fund, helping us improve municipal services in Belgrade, Sarajevo, Skopje, and Tirana. Thank you for your commitment, hard work, incredible energy, and belief that we all need to be able to make a difference. And also, I would like to use this opportunity to extend my thanks to those who are able to recognize the right people and the right things. Also, I would like to extend my thanks to the GIZ and the government for being able to recognize a good idea suggested by these teams and supporting the implementation thereof. Also, I would like to extend my thanks to the growing number of companies that on the way to achieving their commercial interests are also able to recognize the energy of these two teams and help them achieve the sustainable development goals. Finally, personally, for me, this is the sign of actually the best reward there is, and that's our joint cooperation and work. And that's why I would like to send my message for the people to stay in their offices and to continue working while taking care of their health. Thank you very much. This was a wonderful speech. Thank you, Zorica. And at the very end, I would like to invite our Managing Board Director Vladimir Novakovic on behalf of Mosen Kors Company to join me to hand over the arrow to a leader that is coming from the Diplomatic Corps. During her term of office in Serbia, she has provided an immeasurable contribution to the gender mainstreaming and supporting women and marginalized groups through Nasham program, a training program in Israel. She helped many members of NALED coming from the ranks of the civil society to become familiar with the culture of her country and to learn more about entrepreneurship in her country and modern technologies applied in Israel and that have become a hallmark of Israel. She has helped the companies from her country, and she selflessly promoted the potentials of Serbia. Our arrow is well deservedly handed over to Alona Fischer-Kam, the living ambassador of Israel to Serbia.
Thank you very much. I'm really moved to receive this arrow. It means a lot to me. And I think that it's very symbolic that this is my very, very last event in public, since it represents long years of collaboration and cooperation with the wonderful staff of NALED. I think that diplomatic relations are not between governments, or not only between governments. They are mostly between people, between countries, between people, between societies. And maybe there is no better organization as NALED to represent these sectors, so many sectors and so many activities in the society. And I would like to mention several areas of collaboration and cooperation between NALED and the Embassy of Israel. I would mention, of course, the women empowerment, and I'm very glad that 3 out of the 4 laureates are women. I think that it means that you implement and really what you believe in. I think that this is a very important message as well. I would mention the rural development, agriculture, innovation, water management, so many areas of cooperation between Israel and Serbia, and many of them done through NALED. So thank you very much. I'm sure that the collaboration between the Embassy of Israel and NALED will continue through different methods, forms. Some of them would be direct, some of them, as mentioned by our development agency, Mashav, that is open for participants from Serbia to come and with whom we share a lot of know-how. I would like to finish by saying a word about COVID-19 because I think it's there, it's present everywhere, and it's worthwhile mentioning that in spite of the fact that this is the biggest crisis we have ever experienced in the last years, for sure it has also opportunities. And I believe that NALED, together with the Embassy of Israel, we will be able to identify those opportunities and to go out of this crisis more resilient, more and stronger than ever. So thank you very much, and together we make a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Zahvaljujemo se ambasador.
Thank you, Ms. Ambassador and Chair. And once again, with the congratulations of our laureates, we are closing our session, but I would like to urge you to start preparing for the next session. That will be an election one. Thank you for your participation, for your activities. Take care, stay healthy. Until we meet again, all the best.